Here we are in Unity, and I have set up a scene so that I can show you how to animate an object. Now the first thing we do is have to make sure that your gizmo is in this particular orientation. Y is always vertical and X is always to the right. That's a positive direction. Then by default the Z-axis is going to be pointing away from you. Okay, so create a ground, which is a cube, and I reshaped it. These are the dimensions. I added a cube, that's this one. I haven't changed the name yet, but you should call it a player or whatever name you want to give it. And I'm animating this using timeline. Timeline animation, you control exactly what it does, but these are good for repetitive action in your games. Things like sliding doors, moving platform, elevators. You want objects that repeat the motion over and over in the entire game, and then you don't have to worry about what will happen to them. There's only one drawback. Each object has to be animated on its own. You cannot create one platform, add an animation, then copy and paste it and put it somewhere else. It doesn't work that way. So you'll have to do all of your animation each time that you want one. So be careful. If you want to do a lot of work, well, that's what it's going to be. The other way of animating is using scripts, but then that you have to know C# programming. Let's begin with this one. Here's a cube, and to get this animation timeline that you see right here, you go under Window, Animation, and click Animation. When you do that, it'll ask you to give it a name, and I did. I call it Movement. So this movement is this animation here. This is the controller which joins this animation to this object. Now when it's created, it should be in its own folder, which I created there. So just drag it and drop it in there. That keeps things nice and tidy. Alright, animation now. Two things in animation. Time on the top. These numbers are in parts per second. So 100 means 100 second. Okay, so this is half a second. Next, you have the actual line itself, and these little diamonds, where they're blue colored, are called keyframes. Every other rectangle is a frame. You add a property to animate. In this case, I added the position property, meaning I am animating where he's moving. Now if you open it up, we remember this is 3-dimension, so the animation is in 3 axes. This one, if I scrub it, meaning if I drag it out like this, you notice that the Z number doesn't change. The X number is changing because it's moving from left to right, and it's going in the positive direction. So the numbers will get up to there, and now it gets turned positive as it reaches this far point. So it started at a negative number, then it reaches 2.3. Now this number here will reflect up here. That's its position. Okay. Now the Y number doesn't change. Neither does the X. The Z. If you want to, once you create the animation and you want him, let's say, to go up and down, say bouncing around, then you need to change these values. So at this particular value here, that number is 0.517. If I drag the timeline down and I reach over here, this particular keyframe, it's also 0.517. So let's make this 1.2. That means he should be up in the air like that. See, it automatically changes his position. Now let's scrub the line. Will he go up or not? He does. So once you have a keyframe, you can make changes easily by adjusting the values here. Well, how do we actually make the keyframes and how we actually animate it? So here we go. When we do the add property, click add property and click on transform, there's only two more things I can do to it. That's rotation or scale, because I already made the position trans animation. You cannot do it twice. An object cannot be in 3 places or 4 places at the same time. You can only be in one spot. So once you animate his movement, so to speak, you cannot do another movement to him. That's logic. So let's add a scale one. And there we go. Now we have a scale. Because I did the first one already, there are keyframes at the beginning and at the end of the animation. Because, let's open it up. He's the same size all the way across. Okay. Now to add a keyframe, you select it. Let's say this is a scale in the X direction. You click this little plus button. It looks grayed out, but you can actually press it. See, add a keyframe. Now if you make any choices to changes it, let's say he's bigger at that point, 1, like that. Kind of a long bar. Now you can click on make it, add it. All right. So that's 1. Okay. Hit enter. And if you don't know if it changed or not, you make sure you type 1.0. Hit enter. Okay. Now let's go over here. His scale, you notice, is decreasing. It went from 1 and now it's 0.6. He actually decreased when he reaches here. But then when he goes back there, he comes back to 1. Why? Because 0.2, sorry, because we only changed this point. We did not change that point. So the animation will go, he starts very, very big and he comes back very, very small. Okay, see? He starts so big and he comes out small. Well, that's kind of dumb, because if he starts big, he should be big on the return. Because all of a sudden when you play it, he'll get really, really big. Alright? So let's go back here. Now, that's the scale. You see the value here doesn't change? Because he's over there. So you have to make sure that you actually pull this line back to here and see now it's 1. Alright, let's put it back to 0.2. 215, that's what the actual value, right? So 0.2, 1, 2, 1, 5. That matches the value. And hit the keyframe again, just in case. Okay, now he should be the same size all the way across. However, at this point, we want him to be big. We want him to grow. So to do that, we stop here, and we click there. And now we add a keyframe. See, there's a blue diamond. Now at this point, we can't change the size. So we get small from here, big to there. Let's say 0.6. We want to make him big everywhere. 0.6, like grow uniformly. 6, there we go. Since these are blue, they're all keyframes. Now he goes back, he shrinks, see? And that's animation by timeline. If it doesn't return to a starting point, this could be anywhere. So let's move it. Move him here. Now the position can be anywhere. So let's click on the blue. This one. This will affect all X, Y, Z. We don't want him here. Let's say you want him somewhere there. He goes through the board and comes on the other side. So if you play it, gets big, but nothing happened. What do we say again? When you want to make sure it's permanent, try it again. You always have to come here and hit this. Okay, add it. Then you scrub the line, make sure it goes there. There we go. That's how you test. Okay. So 3 steps. 1, pick where you want him to go, or what path he wants to travel, or what you want him to do, whether it's growing or turning or jumping around. At every point in the timeline that you want an event to happen, you stop it at that point and you click this little button for a keyframe. Then you get these little blue diamonds. Usually afterwards you can edit it by typing in numbers. There, typing in numbers. Okay? So that's Animation VI Timeline. I hope that explains everything. Anything else, you just post to me, okay? Bye.